People love animals, and that is not something new, but some of them love them more than their families. Owning a pet cat or dog sure is amazing, and today, we will have a look at some of the most amazing friendships between humans and animals. We will have a look at a man who left his home and lived with wolves for 18 months, and a penguin who travels 5,000 miles every year to meet his friend. We will share the story of a fisherman who saved a crocodile and became friends with him for 2 decades, and wait for the end to meet the real-life Tarzan and his sister, Queen of the Jungle. Let's get started. Number 11. Tippy de Grey, real-life Mowgli. Tippy de Grey was born in Namibia. Her parents were wildlife photographers, and she was raised in the lush forests of Windhoek for the first 10 years of her life. She was named after an American actress, Tippi Hedren, who starred in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Tippy was brought up amongst the wildlife in Namibia. Her first best friend was an elephant named Abu. She referred to him as her big brother. Elephants were easier to connect with for Tippy. Her most fascinating relationship was the one she developed with Genbi, a leopard, who also happened to be a dangerous predator. Tippy's childhood was amazing, as she got a chance to play with snakes, ride on the back of ostriches, and to learn archery. She enjoyed her life as a real-life Mowgli. She lived a dream every child had while watching cartoons like Mowgli. When Tippy turned 10, her parents decided it was best for her to get an education at a school and socialize with other children. It broke Tippy's heart to leave her home. They moved to France, and Tippy went from the open wilderness to 4 small walls. Tippy would return to Africa occasionally to visit her old friends, but her life was never the same. Number 10. Sean Ellis, a man among wolves. Sean Ellis is an English animal researcher who is notable for living among wolves. Some people believe that Sean Ellis isn't right in the head. He got married and had 5 children. However, he spent more time studying wolves than being with his family. At first, his wife didn't think his love for wolves was a problem, but with time, she became annoyed. That's why she abandoned Ellis and took the kids. After that incident, Sean left home and went to the wild to live with a pack of wolves. He's the only known human adult that willingly left to live with wolves and became a part of their community. In fact, to the wolves, he's their alpha male. He ate the same raw meat they ate. According to him, Ellis learned their howling cues. He lived with the pack for 18 months. It wasn't easy for Ellis to come back to the human world. 7 months passed until he felt comfortable again among his own species. Number 9. O.R. Lajmi and Lions. O.R. is the manager of Seaview Lion Park, South Africa, where she looks after and trains dozens of lions and tigers. Despite the fact that lions are dangerously wild, one petite woman has managed to make herself the queen of this South African pack. Because Lajmi has been around for the cubs' entire lives, they respect her and consider her to be a dominant member of their pride. In fact, Lajmi is so confident about the lions' behavior that others are invited to walk right into their pens if she is around. It's so amazing to see how much these giant felines respect their tiny caregiver. Despite their unbelievable strength, these cats seem completely content and peaceful in her presence. They snuggle up close and give her big lion kisses. OR wants to spread awareness about these beautiful animals by interacting with them. The wildlife park plans to release these hand-raised lions out into the wild once they get old enough. They want to prove that lions in captivity can be restored to their natural habitat once again. Number 8. Shao and Dimm Penguin. João Pereira de Souza, a humble, retired bricklayer, rescued the injured penguin in the state of Rio de Janeiro. The penguin was covered in oil and running out of time fast. João rescued the penguin, naming it Dimm, cleaned the oil off its feathers, and fed him a daily diet of fish to rebuild its strength. After a week, João attempted to release the penguin back into the wild, but he wouldn't leave. He stayed for 11 months, and one day he disappeared. Months later, Dimm returned to visit his rescuer, and he comes back around the same time every year. This penguin swims 5,000 miles every year for a reunion with the man who saved its life. As a fact, penguins live for about 25 years, and are known for their loyalty to their mates, staying with the same partner until they die. Before we move on, here's a quick challenge for you. If you can leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on the notification in less than 5 seconds, you will have 10 years of amazing luck. Hurry up and try it. It actually works. Number 6. Cheeto and Pocho. This is a unique friendship story between a man and a crocodile. Costa Rican fisherman Gilberto is also known as Cheeto and had the killer reptile as his best friend for over 2 decades. Cheeto first met with the crocodile after finding him with a gunshot wound on the bank. He named the crocodile Pocho and spent 6 months nursing it back to health by feeding it 31 kilograms of chicken and fish every week until it was strong enough to hunt again. He hid the beast in a pond under trees deep in a nearby forest until he obtained the necessary wildlife permits from Costa Rican authorities to own and raise the gravely injured crocodile legally. They spent 2 decades together, but sadly, Pocho died of natural causes in the water outside Gilberto's home. He later befriended a new crocodile, which he named Pocho II. However, Pocho II couldn't fill the void of Cheeto's old friend. Number 5. Shirley and Jessica. Hippos are portrayed as being some of the most dangerous creatures in Africa due to recorded attacks when people invade their spaces and interrupt their routines. Jessica the hippo, however, is slowly changing the stereotype with her love and friendship with the human. A river's flood separated the newly born calf away from her mother. Fortunately, Jessica happened to end up on the property of Shirley Schubert, who realized she was only a few hours old, took her in, and created a milk formula to help her regain strength. From then, Jessica was a part of the family and even became friends with Shirley's dogs. As she wouldn't survive on her own in the wild, she stayed with Shirley and her husband Tony. At the age of 1.5, Jessica became a world-famous movie star for her role in Mr. Bones with actor Leon Schuster. Number 4. Bonnie Hart, the brave granny. Meet Texas truck driver Bonnie Hart, who loves having animals in the yard. The brave grandmother has 2 bears and a tiger in her back garden, with only a taser to control them if they get violent. Pebbles and Bam Bam are living at her home since they were cubs, and white tiger Anushka, she bought her white tiger 4 years ago from a close friend, but it was an entirely different story with her bears. According to her, bears came up in her yard one day following her dog. She thought they were dogs, and as they got closer, she realized they were bears. She decided to keep them. Bonnie cuddles up to the bears each day and feeds them treats such as cookies, marshmallows, and ice cream. It costs Bonnie $1,000 to $1,500 a month to feed her animals. Even though Bonnie can interact with her animals on an intimate level for hours, she is more than aware of the threat they pose. Number 3. Janice and her tigers. Tigers are fearsome jungle cats, but 57-year-old Janice Haley has a different perspective on the matter. To her, these dangerous animals are also cuddly kitties. While most people tend to use their garden as a place of relaxation, Janice Haley chooses to use her backyard as a place to keep her 2 tigers. She keeps 2 Bengal tigers, Janda and Saber, in the back garden of her home in Orlando, Florida. Janda is a female orange Bengal, while Saber is a white Bengal male. She treats the 2 tigers like ordinary pets by stroking and cuddling them, and even sometimes takes a nap with them. Janice hand feeds the tigers as well as stroking and feeding them, and says Saber, the younger tiger, can't get off to sleep without suckling on her finger. Number 2. Dean Schneider and Lions. Dean Schneider is a 29-year-old Swiss native who left his career in finance to work with lions and other wild animals in South Africa. He calls himself a member of the Pride of 6 Lions and spends most of his time feeding and playing with them. He doesn't keep his lions caged, and he doesn't wear protective gear when he interacts with them. The lions live free and wild in a huge private animal reserve in South Africa. Not just he is a member of a lion pride, but he has a hyena as a wife and calls himself the daddy of 2 monkeys. Legendary Steve Irwin was his inspiration, and according to him, he discovered his deep passion for wildlife by watching him on TV. Before we reveal number 1, be sure to check out other amazing videos on our channel, and give us a like if you enjoyed this video so far, and tell us in the comments which one of these you like the most and why. Number 1. Cody Antle, real-life Tarzan. Cody Antle has a Tarzan aesthetic and almost 5 million followers and counting on Instagram, where he posts photos and videos of himself with his wild animal pals, much like Tarzan. Cody is famous as Tarzan and is pretty much the closest thing to a real-life Tarzan. He shares his videos of carrying a tiger on his back and spending time with his monkey brothers. His sister, Tawny Antle, claims the title Queen of the Jungle, and she spends a lot of time with these wild animals. On her Instagram, she shares photos of herself with tigers, monkeys, elephants, and pythons, and almost all animals you can think of. Cody is seen playing with his wild friends as Tarzan, and people admire him for that. That wraps up our today's list. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and tell us in the comments which one of these you like the most and why. And make sure to check that amazing video on the screen.